I'm going to get into it.
One, two, three,
Well,
four.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Season Ticket Holders. I'm your host, Dane Lillingston, and I have another new and very special guest for me today. She's a Fox Sports News colleague of mine, producer extraordinaire, UFC fanatic, which is why we get along so well as well, and a mad Bulldogs fan. But we won't hold that against her today. Kamilia Hanna, how are you going, Kamilia?
I'm doing well, Dane. How are you? I'll take that slight jab, but yeah, I'm
Hey,
doing well.
well, we also bond over the sledging as well, of course, as you know.
Yes, yes,
And the UFC, obviously, we're two of the biggest fans in the office, so that helps, eh?
yes.
Um, Look, what I usually do, just for guests who are coming onto the show for the first time, just want to get you to talk to us about who you are, what got you into rugby league, and why you love the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs.
Have you got all day? Because that could possibly take all day. Now, I'll give you the condensed version. Yes, as you said, I work at Fox Sports. Rugby league, I always describe it's my first love. It's been one of the only, or one of the many constants in my life. I just fell in love with it straight away. My mum's a fanatic Bulldog supporter, so I guess the writing was on the walls that I would eventually become a Bulldog supporter. Um, Growing up in my family, you were either one of three. You were either a Bulldog, a Parramatta Eels fan, or a Dragons supporter. Didn't really like Para that much growing up, and the reason they gave me to go for the Dragons was because the church we all went to growing up, and the church most of my cousins were baptized in is called St George, so
Oh,
they all go for St George.
okay, that's the
Um,
connection, yeah.
and I was like, yeah, I don't want to go for St George because there was a few players at the time that I didn't really like, and I was like, I'll go with Mum. I'll go for Bulldogs. And the rest is, I guess, history. Has been some very good years. I am fortunate enough to remember '04. There's been some really bad years in the middle of that, and then a few good, and then back to some bad. But it's coming good now. But yeah, rugby league's always just been there for me. So yeah, I it started my sports journey kind of. When I got into rugby league, the rest just kind of fell into place. So yeah.
Up the doggies. Well, I want to get straight into that because you're obviously going to be ecstatic with how the season's gone. 5 from 5 to start the season. I don't know if anyone really predicted them to start that hot. I mean, we all knew they were going to sort of be a top eight contender again, but 5 from 5 to start the season. By far and away the best defensive team in the comp. Conceded just 58 points. Of course, just coming off a 20-0 win over the Knights as well. So I suppose for you, like we've seen what Cameron Ciraldo's done with this team, what he's been able to achieve. I suppose we've seen it building into what it's becoming now. But are you even a little bit surprised that they're top of the ladder over my Broncos? I'll have to add to you as well. But even are you surprised at this start to the season?
No,
Oh,
honestly.
you would say that, yeah.
No, I not that I saw the writing on the walls. Last season, it took a while for us to become a top eight team, but we got to finals. We got knocked out in very heartbreaking fashion. But as I sat back as a Bulldog supporter, going, "We got this far, and there has been improvements. We didn't get the spoon, so anything apart from that has been great."
Not a Tigers fan.
Um, yes. uh, so coming into this season, my expectations were high. I'm not gonna lie. There was a little bit of me that was worried. That was like, I'm a bit worried that people just think we're gonna automatically be good. Because we had such a good end to the season. It was just such a build up. Like fans just kept rocking up. It was just such a build up and build up and build up, and it was so exciting to watch. So heading into this season, and I saw the draw, I'm like, well, there's a few winnable games here, and there
Yeah.
is a chance for us to start really well. The Sharks win kind of surprised me. Um, but apart from that, nothing that they have dished up has been, I guess, surprising. The fact that they were able to play well without Matt Burton, and William Kikau was great to see. My biggest concern, particularly when we got the Penrith players, was, well, what if one of them goes down? Are we just going to fold? Are we just going to like not be great? Are we just going to rely on these players? But Ciro has shown, and the team has really shown that even if one goes down, they have the depth to fill it.
100%. I agree. That's actually one of the points I have written down that I was going to discuss with you because it's a cliche that we always hear in rugby league, that next man up mentality. I know you and I probably hear it all the time in presses. A lot of
Yeah,
teams preach it. They just about all say it, but I don't think any team optimizes like or highlights what that actually means at the moment, like the Bulldogs. Because like you said, no Matt Burton, no Viliami kick out. Everyone could forgive them for maybe, struggling a little bit. But literally, they just step up. Bailey Hayward slots in,
yeah,
into the halves, and they just do that. And that seems to be something that's actually really been instilled in this team, and it's no more evident than it is at the Bulldogs right now. You'd have to credit what Cameron Serrato for what he's been able to do, get that defensive attitude. But would you agree with me there? Like that's just sort of how they've done that. You're not a team made up of superstars. You don't have
no,
these big breakout players, but you're a
yeah.
team that works together, and another player can just come in.
I remember I think it was the season before where we just kept signing. It was like weird signings. Like if you were sitting back as a rugby league fan, all of a sudden Salmon came in and all these it was
Lots
a
of
bunch of
14s.
utilities. It was
Yeah,
a
lots of
bunch of
14 utilities.
14s.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going, are we playing small ball? Like, what are we doing here? It was very bewildering, but now it kind of makes sense. Bailey Hayward has slotted perfectly into Matt Burton's position. He even brings his own kind of flair that Toby Sexton builds off, which is you kind of saw that last night. Like he was very, it was free flowing. It was great. It was scrappy, but it was like it got the job done.
100%.
Um, our forward pack was criticised because it wasn't big enough. We bought into Tilly Tupanua. That was a game changer.
He's been great.
And even without him yesterday, Kurt Mann stepped up. Like the forward pack stepped up. Max King, Jacob Preston has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um,
Future leader. He's got a lot of potential,
oh,
that
he's
kid.
got blues in him.
I've loved it. Straight into the origin talk.
Straight, he's got blues in him. I like it is that Belmore game, and I think the game after he was just a weapon.
Yeah.
I was like, put this kid in a Blues jersey. I don't care what you do, put him in a Blues jersey. But yeah, to the next man up, you can tell like because Ciro's come from Penrith, that's been their ideology. But even you could argue they haven't done that this year. So I don't know what he said to them, but it's working, and this next man up business is is working pretty well. But the good news is we may get Burton and Viliami Kikio back for Good Friday, which is good.
And I hear they're expecting, I just was reading something just before, potentially up to 60,000 for that game, which would break a record for a very long time. I think they got 50 something recently.
I think 50 was our finals game last year broke a record, I'm pretty sure. And there was a game leading up to that may have almost broke a record.
Yeah, but I think for the Good Friday specifically as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it hasn't been this hot in a while. I remember, I think it may have been 2011, the Good Friday with Clemmer and Graham going off and all hell
Loved
broke
it.
loose.
Yeah.
I think that was like there was a few after, but that was like the first like, oh my God, like this is insane. And who knows, we may see, or hopefully not a repeat for the Bulldogs because that did not end well for Canterbury Bankstown. But maybe we can get one over the Bunnies. But yeah, that rivalry's always been good. It added another layer in 2014 when they took the comp and defeated us in the grand final.
Just sore
But
memory there.
yeah, oh, there's a few.
I'm not going to pick at too many old wounds, Kamilia. But look, 60,000, if they can get that,
That'd
that'd
be
be
great. Yeah.
amazing. And that's one thing the Bulldogs can do. They can bring a crowd, and we are going to get into that soon. But we did just touch on a little bit there. And the man I wanted to talk to you was the Cameron Serrato revolution. It's his third year in charge now. Like you said, came from that Penrith system. And I suppose even when you talk to him, I'd get Ivan Cleary vibes. You see a presser with him. He's sort of cool, calm, collected. You love it when he cracks a smile a little bit, but he plays that tough man sort of persona. I'm sure the players respect him. That's the feeling I get. He sort of commands that authority. I think he's taken a lot out of the Ivan Cleary playbook, and maybe now he's even perfecting it. Because, like we said, it's not really a team of superstars, but he's turned these players into champions, like a Connor Tracy, who've just done amazing things. What have you made about what he's done? Because I think we can see that he has built this team to what they are now. He had a plan in play, and I think now in his third year, we're really seeing it come to fruition.
Well, I remember when he signed, I because it was just the thing back then. It was like, let's just take someone from Penrith and hope for the best. If with players, some coaching staff, the Trent Barrett thing didn't work out. So when it was announced that Ciro was coming in, I was a bit apprehensive. I was like, I get he was the defensive coach at the time. and he was great at that. That Penrith powerhouse was almost built alongside him and that coaching staff at the time. So when he came over, I was a bit apprehensive. I was like, let's just see how we go. I really don't want another Trent Barrett 2.0.
You never know with assistant coaches, hey, like they
No,
get touted all the time. They're the
all
next
the
big
time.
thing, but they're assistant coaches. So you just never
Yeah,
know until they start into that big job.
yeah. Like when Ralsey now at Para, well, to be fair, doesn't have the greatest team, but it's just like
We'll
you,
see.
you never know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I was apprehensive, and then the first season wasn't great. To be fair, the team probably wasn't amazing. We were still kind of building and building and building and building, but you could kind of see that we were getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Because where did you finish in that first year? I didn't have it
I
off the top
think
of my
it
head.
was 12,
Yeah. So you sort of, yeah,
something
got near
like
the
that. We built
pushing.
on where we finished the year before, which was good,
And then last year, obviously,
and
got
then
into the
last year was
finals,
finals.
the Manly.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to
The
talk about that
Chris,
one? No.
it was. Look, I remember I was at the game, and we were up, we were up, we were up, we were up, and I was sitting there going, "Oh my god, we're going to do this!" Like, but there was still that little bit inside of me because I knew who we were playing. I knew if DCE had space, it would be over. I knew if one of their leaders stood up
Yeah.
when it mattered and saw something that we were weak in, it was over. And then what happened, and they scored. And
Why? What happened?
I'm a I'm an emotional individual. Like
I
I'm not
I
gonna
can vouch for
lie.
that. I've seen Kamilia in the office when a Bulldogs game's on, when New South Wales is on. You can get pretty fiery. Yeah.
I'm very yeah. I can be very emotive. I had no words. Like the people sitting next to me were like, "What the hell?" Like I couldn't speak. I couldn't yell. I was speechless.
I don't think I've ever seen you silent. So
I was quiet. I didn't know what to do or say. I sat back down and I just processed it. I was like, "Oh, it's done." Like this season was so much fun, and now it's done. Um, but yeah, you just think, what if? Like you always just, and then when I went back and watched the game, I was like, well, what if we did this? Well, what if we did that? Like it's you just keep going down a spiral. But at the end of the day, like I just sat back and went, look, you exceeded my expectations. I did not expect the finals finish last year.
yeah,
I thought close to the top eight, maybe sneak in, but I didn't expect them to bring the entire community together like they did. Like I live in the area and it was just blue and white galore. But back to like your point of Serraldo, like there were some key signings that really helped.
yeah.
Like Critter helped.
I was going to say Stephen Crichton. You can't go past
Yeah.
him. Come straight
Uh
away, leader from the Penrith
yeah.
system, and amazing player and leader.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when that came through, I was like, okay, this is good. But then I also there's that little thing in the back of your head, it's like, oh, but he's like a center. Like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah,
Came in, transformed the team, transformed the culture, transformed the team. Everyone looks at him like he is the alpha of that team. He may not be, but like everyone just looks at him like that is my leader. I'm going to follow him, and it changed everything because we weren't playing like the Canterbury Bulldogs of old. We were playing like the new entertainers, so to speak.
yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun. Ciro has also taken, I feel, I ironically brought this up a couple of days ago. He's got his own style of footy, but he doesn't shy away from looking at the past. He doesn't shy away of looking at what the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs is.
The history,
And what it
what's
was, and the
there.
history, what's there. That Dogs of War pack, you can see that forward pack now, like playing like a forward pack that wants to prove a point, that wants to prove that we're top dog. Um,
And you are right now.
yeah, it's incredible to see. Like I even listen to some of the old players and how they speak about him. They're like he kind of reminds us of some of the older coaches and what was like back then. So it's really good to see.
You make a lot of good points there, and what he's been able to do too, just with the players, because we mentioned like the signings, like you critters, but the players like Connor Tracy is the one I want to talk about. Potentially the most underrated fullback in the NRL at the moment. I was just checking up some stats before. He currently leads the NRL for run meters. Um, no, sorry, just behind Jai Gray for run meters. They're very close. I think it's over 1,000 each. What he's been able to do, I remember asking him like last year, like he doesn't look like you'd expect from
No.
someone's like fullback, right? Like
Yeah.
he doesn't compare up to like your Turbos or the flashiness of your Reece Walshes, but he just seems to get a job done. He's a hard worker. He does that grunt work, and I think it does go a little bit unnoticed. Obviously not to Serrano because he was a little bit surprised by the question, but maybe that's because he can't see it. Maybe it's how some fans would say. If you say Connor Tracy right now is one of the best fullbacks in the NRL, people are going to chuck a lot of other names at you before they
Yeah.
probably think of him. But what have you made of his game and what he's been able to do? Because he's been crucial to your success.
I He's just been such an integral part of that team, and it has taken a fair few people by surprise. I think myself included. When he came over, I was like, okay, good signing. But again, it was like in the era where we were just signing everyone. It was just like, well, what's this gonna change? So when he came in, it was really really good to see him like stamp his mark on the game, show that he could hang with the likes of like Teddy and Reese, and he's not afraid to take it to the opposition. And he's just been such a big part of our game. And like you said, people don't look at him when you think of the Bulldogs, and even Bulldogs fans themselves. Like they'll say Connor Tracy is great, but your first point of call isn't to say Connor Tracy. Your first point is Critter.
Yeah, I wonder how many
But
people
like
actually say Connor's their favorite player.
Connor's
That
their
type of,
favorite player.
yeah.
He's phenomenal, and he does the right things. He senses when it's time to do something, and that impacts the entire game. Like he can change the game if he wants to. Yeah, he's been a great signing, and yeah, has exceeded many expectations.
Well, I was going to say right now, currently third in the Dally M count. So that just gives you an idea of how well he
Yeah.
started. Jai Gray's on 19 points, which is insane. And then Cam Munster and then Tracy is tied with Payne Haas at the moment. So that just goes to
Oh
show,
wow.
yeah, that just goes to show sort of where he's actually standing with that type of thing. Now, the other player I want to talk to, Toby Sexton. He's done a lot of the kicking, obviously without Matt Burton. But he seems to be a player that's sort to be like growing into his own skin. Halves obviously get better with age, fine wine, just like Adam Reynolds at the moment, looking beautiful. But
Bad
what?
Hemi doesn't say so, but anyway.
He's an old man, Kamilia. All right, I know the feeling. I've also done my hammy at the moment. I'm resting, so I send my.
For you.
um, but just what have you made of him in the halves? Obviously, he's had Hayward come in. We all know that Matt Burton's able to do when he is there with his kicking game. He's obviously a state of origin caliber player. But you got Toby Sexton who's getting better and better, it seems.
Yeah, and I think the more him and Burton play, the better that combination is going to get. There, his signing was really really big. We needed a seven. Um, we had Drew Hutchison there for a bit, and that just didn't work. And Burto needed a good number seven for Burto to be Matt Burton.
Yeah.
Like
Give him the
you couldn't just
freedom to run the
give him the
ball.
freedom to
Yeah.
run the ball, put those bombs up, do what he does best. Like
The
we
best high
needed.
kick in the NRL.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So Toby has helped Burto um, become Matt Burton and play to Matt Burton's way. He controls the game. He's just been a really really good sidekick for Matt Burton. And I like when our name keeps get throwing into these halves that want to come to the club. In the back of my mind, I'm like, stick with Toby
Yeah.
because it's working. Why change a working formula? Not saying that if we got Ben Hunt, it wouldn't have been good. Like I'm not going to sit there and say no to an Origin winner and a Premiership winner.
Can't have him as
But
a
like,
Queenslander.
yeah. Well, isn't Toby Sexton?
Yeah, we'll take him. He can get in. I mean, we need a success for Daly,
Yeah.
so yeah, he can.
So every time our name gets throwing into these conversations, I'm kind of like, well, no, we've got our halves and it's working. So don't change your working formula. Yeah, but he's great. He's a great player. He seems like a really nice person too. Just down to earth, loves his footy. So
Funny,
yeah, I can't complain.
I saw him on the Matty John show, and they were giving him stick for I think it was a massage parlor. Come on, I think was that him?
Yeah. That
And
was him.
Cameron Serrato said that he didn't he say he saw him coming out of a
Walk
massage
out.
parlor,
Yeah.
and he told Fletch and Hindy, and yeah, good value and good relationship there between the coach and player as well.
Yeah.
But on that halves battle too, and how it all works, I think I did see Serrato say. I was at the presser where after all the Dally stuff had broke, and obviously Gus Gould has come out publicly and said no. I think that was the latest. He's well
Yep.
basically alluded to the not being interested, but you can never trust 100% what old Gus says, as you would know. Um, do you think there's a chance you'd make a play? And then on the flip side is, do you even need him? Because like you said, when you've got Burton and Sexton firing, do you need to come in and sort of disrupt all this work that Serrato's done?
I don't think so, personally. I could be in a minority saying that we don't need a Cherry Evans. Um,
Just to clarify, it's not because he's a Queenslander.
um, I've never been the biggest fan of him anyway.
Oh, here we go.
No, no. As a player, he's great. Don't get me wrong. He
Hmm.
changes games. He makes games. He wins games. Like he is that player.
Champion.
Um, but I think back to my previous point, I wouldn't want to rattle a system that's still being building. I mean, like to be fair, in the history of the Bulldogs, our halves, I'd argue at some points have always been underrated. Um, even though they're Origin winners and Premiership winners, um, so I think we can work with what we've got and just keep building on that and keep that solid foundation with Matt Burton and Toby Sexton. And there's really no need to bring in an outsider, so to speak, in Daly Cherry Evans.
Yeah.
Wherever he ends up, he ends up. But I reckon he might be a Rooster next year.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think it would be a little bit backwards, almost detrimental to bring him in because I think Serrato's a man that does have a long-term plan and he's had
Yep,
years with those players to get the systems that he wants and the way
yep,
he wants things to work. Bring in Daly, even though a player like that only comes, well, never really comes on the market the way that he sort of has. Even with the age, it's not like you can build around him either. You're getting him for a year or two to have a quick shot at the premiership window, but you could argue you guys are already in the premiership window,
yep.
or pushing very close to it. On the flip side of all that, I did want to talk to you about one player too, the player everyone loves to hate. Is Reed Marnie the biggest grub in the NRL?
No, no. You wouldn't say that if he was on your team. I always
Tell
throw
me
that.
why. Yeah,
Look, he's niggly. He gets under people's skin.
probably the biggest
He,
niggler in the NRL.
but that's what's good. You like it has disappeared so much from the game that grub, like I wouldn't say he's a grub, but
You just
that
said
just
it.
that mean and grubbiness is kind of gone from the game.
It's definitely a
Um,
dying
it's a
breed.
dying thing, and when
Yeah.
he does it, that people don't know what to do. Like he's riling up someone, and he like forces a penalty, forces an error, forces something, and then we get on the front foot and score off it. Like it's he is such a big part of the game, and that grubbiness is great. I mean, we're notorious for having players that like to do some things that may or may not be legal.
You don't have to tell
Like
me that.
Mick Ennis was a pest, but he was great. Josh
Josh
Reynolds' nickname is
Reynolds.
Grub. Like
You
it's
do have a
and
history for the grubs.
yeah, you come to Belmore, you get a few grubs, but it's he's just so good. Like I honestly say, if he was playing for Brisbane right now, you would not be complaining.
Look, I give you shit, and I actually just wanted to see your reaction. But I personally love those players. One of my favorite ever players growing up was Justin Hodges, and I
Mm.
know that south of the border, you guys absolutely hated him. And when he played for us, I couldn't love him any further because he was the exact same type of player. He wasn't afraid to sort of get in that push and shove, the grub, the chatting to your ear. And every now and then it would put the players off, get them under their game. Of course, he can always go the flip side. It can get a bit too heated and out of control, but he was a player who really knew how to sort of stay on top, the right level of grubbiness and legal play, just sort of blurring that line there. So, no, I give you shit, but I do love players like that. You want them on
He's great. You
yeah,
want him on
yeah,
your team.
yeah. You
They
love,
they are such a big part, and players play for that. Like you don't if he like if say someone went after Toby Sexton or something. Like Reed will be the first one there to be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
yeah,
Smallest
look,
bloke on the field,
the first
mind
one
you,
out of it as well.
but
He'll
the
be the first
first
one in
one,
and the first
oh
one
yeah.
out.
I mean, I would hide behind Satili Tupanura as well.
A
Like I
kick out.
like Liami Kikau, I'd hide behind all that forward pack. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he is such a good part of that team, and it's fun to watch. And
No,
I get crap for it for saying it, but anyway,
no, I was going to say, well, I know Gus came out and defended him for that sort of tackle where he sort of shouldered him on the ground. That was a bit iffy, but yeah, it's just one of those things where I think you do sort of want them on your team because they can fire you up. It's the player you love to hate, and
yeah,
if you're on your team, they represent everything your club's about, right? Like, and as a player, as a fan, you get fired up, and that's what you want.
exactly. It's great.
Um, now, all the players aside, into just the support, I suppose, as well, because over that round that we just saw, I think it was 24,000, I want to say. It was something.
It was a decent crowd for a Sunday night.
It was the
It's pretty good.
biggest Sydney NRL crowd of the season. That's what I read. And look, that's impressive. I mean, Suncorp gets like 30, 40 plus regularly. That's what
You
Queensland
have
does.
one team, mate. But
But
anyway,
well, there's four teams
there's
there,
yeah,
Kamilia. But just the fact that obviously they're a team that does bring the Sydney support. You mentioned it a little bit earlier as well, that Bulldogs fandom. Uh, you'd have to say, I don't want to give you any credit, but you have to say the most passionate fan base in the NRL. I
yeah,
reckon that'd be pretty accurate.
yeah, without a doubt. I- it is the most. I don't even have the words for them, to be honest. Like they are the most passionate. They are the most. They're loud. You can be their own player, and they'll tell you if you're bad or good. Like I've been to games. I went to a Belmore game recently. There was like someone drops a ball there at you, whether they're your player or not. Yeah, we'll let you know. Like
What if Cherry Evans played for the Bulldogs? What do you think he would have got
yeah,
that?
I don't know.
Just
I
what was the
don't know.
reaction if all this happened, but he played for Bulldogs and ran out at Belmore the weekend after all that happened?
Oh, if this had
It's
happened, and
different.
he'd
Just
get
imagine
booed.
yeah, that's what I was getting at.
I remember when Sonny came back and played for the Roosters, and it was like after he walked out on the club, went
Oh,
to
he did
rugby and
screw that
came
club
back.
pretty badly. Yeah,
Oh, horrendous.
yeah,
I remember when he came back, I at home was booing. That entire arena was booing him. Like every time he touched the ball. Like I could
yeah.
only imagine if it was someone like DC who'd been at the club for as long as he has, done as much as he has. Yeah, like Dogs fans will tell you how it is. Like
Yeah.
we're not shy. We're loud. We're proud. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're also um, just because it's such a culturally diverse club as well. Not saying that we're the only ones. There's a fair few in the NRL, but that also adds to it. Like you go to a game, the drums are going off. You've got
Awesome atmosphere. Absolutely
yeah,
awesome.
like you've got so many drums going off. You got like this little kid playing his little drum, trying to g up the crowd. It's the cutest thing in the world. Um, you got Brave Dog. Like I remember walking to the Belmore game recently. I was just like walking right behind him, and he was like g'ing everyone up. It's so much fun. Like it's like one big family. Um, on the flip side of that, like we've only like last season they all started to come out of the closet again. Like I don't blame them. Like
NRL fans are notoriously a little bit bandwagon
I
because the
really
crowds
don't
do
blame
die
them.
when
Yeah,
they yeah.
our bad seasons were bad. Like I wouldn't be sitting in the stand. I mean, I probably would, but like 66-0 against the Knights. I think it was 3 4 years ago. Like I would,
Was that
anyone would walk out.
was that rock bottom?
Oh, I think we got higher. It was like back to back weeks of like massive, massive score lines. I remember sitting at work. I was in like the jacket I'm wearing behind me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't take this off because this is my team. But also, I'm like, come on, boys, like, be better.
Yeah.
So I don't cop it every week.
I suppose on the flip side of the bandwagon stuff too, I mean, you could also argue that NRL fans are just so passionate that when their team is losing, that they just can't stand to go. I mean, I'm a big believer that you should always go to games, and the NRL
Yeah,
attendance is they pale in comparison to how the AFL crowd culture works. But you could say, like you're saying, you could be so upset that you really just don't even want to go.
yeah, I get that. I when I was a kid, I was that kid that if we had lost, you don't talk to me. Like, don't
I'm always
mention
like
it.
that. Don't talk to me after
Like,
a
yeah,
loss.
yeah, yeah, don't. I remember going back to school because both the 2014 and 2012 grand final, I was in high school. We had lost. We were in school holidays. That week we came back. I was like, "Don't talk to me. Don't mention it. I don't want to speak about
Camille's
it.
off limits.
I'm off limits." But people would do it to roll me up, and I was just like, and I just go in my little shell. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, the fan base is so much fun. They're it's just a vibe. Like if honestly, if I could sum it up in one word, it's a vibe. If 80 minutes will make a noise, it's just because it's so culturally diverse. It's just so much fun. And being a Lebanese person myself, like being around a club where there's a lot of Lebanese fans, it's really good to see.
I was going to ask you about that too, because the Lebanese community and the Bulldogs, they're really close, sort of synonymous with each other. I didn't really understand it coming from outside of Sydney until I went to Belmore for a press conference for the very first time. Walking down that main street, what's the cafe called again?
Showgirls.
Yes, going there, seeing like the murals painted of the players in the main street. Not to mention, I'd get a coffee before press conference. The players literally just sit in that cafe before
Yeah,
they have to go there as well. So it's like the club and the community, like you're saying, it all is sort of one, which is really special to see. Why is that sort of that Lebanese community and the Bulldogs and Belmore all sort of connected like that from the outside looking in? Because obviously I'm not from here. I don't know how that all came about. But could you just tell
yeah.
us for those who don't know?
Well, I think it's different for everyone else. For me personally, Hasnal Masri played a very, very big part in that for
All-time
me.
legend. Yeah.
Yeah, seeing someone who had an Arabic name, who spoke Arabic, who was a very proud Lebanese man, who was born in Lebanon, do what he did. And in a time where, like when he was first coming in, um, Lebanese people and I guess Australia, we were good, but it was still pretty tense. So to see someone like that come through and make the impact that he had on the game and still has on the game was so beautiful to see. Like it made someone like me go, "Hey, I'm proud to be Lebanese because Hazem Al Masri is playing rugby league," and he just united all of us. He was one of us. Um, yeah, I can't, yeah, it's emotional to talk about because he played such a massive part of that club, and he brought so many new fans to that club just of the sole purpose of being who he is and being such a proud Lebanese man. Um, I think the immigrant community, like immigrants and the Bulldogs, I think that connection is it's always been there though. Like with George Paponis, like it's always been that club, like that para, um, even Dragons, and now like Penrith. There's been a strong like ethnic community getting behind these people. So everyone's got their own different story to tell. But for me, it was Hazem, and it was and a lot of other Lebanese kids got behind the Bulldogs because of Hazem Al Masri. Um, yeah, seeing him win that comp in '04 where he scored the try. Roosters fans will tell me it isn't. It was a try. Um,
Still holding on to that.
it
Yeah.
was great. Yeah, oh, it was
Yeah.
a try. Seeing him win the biggest prize in rugby league was so emotional to watch. And you see the players get behind it. Like when Grubby was at the club, like when Josh Reynolds was at the club, he lived in the area, grew up in the area. Like he would throw in Lebanese words here and there in press conferences, and you're like, "Hey, he's one of us," even though he was this Aussie kid.
Yeah.
Um, and now, I guess the newer generation, a lot of people have gotten behind Jacob Carraz, um, because he is one of us. He's a Lebanese Australian who's now making it big time, and we can sit there and go, "Hey, look, that's one of us playing rugby league." And like Adam Dewey, Alex Twal, like there's a fair few coming through. Um, but yeah, Hasm for me, and I think for a lot of Bulldogs fans, is the reason why that community is so strong. There's probably were a few before, but for me and my story, it was definitely
Oh, you're pumping me up there too. I was getting a bit emotional listening to you. Very passionate. I love it. Oh, and I remember too being a kid and watching Hazard, just an all-time great, obviously goal-kicking legend, well, legend in his own right as well. And watching him play was absolutely amazing. And I've seen what
Yeah,
he's done with the community. He's just one of the, well, I suppose you'd say one of the most influential players in the community that NRL's ever seen,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He's like even like the Bulldogs now do iftar events, which are it's like Islamic. It's the time where Islamic people break their fast. Like they do it every year, and he's a massive part of that. Um, yeah, he just plays such a big role for that club in and outside of the field. So yeah,
No, it's awesome to see. It's, I suppose the sad part about all that community and everything you've spoken about is that Belmore, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. That I got the opportunity to go to Belmore. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. Broncos Bulldogs. I was up on the hill. I got the full game day experience as a fan. Wearing my Queensland "We Just Get It" shirt. I'll show you the back later.
yes, yes,
Um, but it was really cool to see. Awesome place to watch footy. Obviously numbers are a bit of an issue because you have that one side of the fence where you can't really have any fans, which is a shame. But the other three sides, awesome. You've obviously got the grandstand, the hill, the other side with the food trucks and that type of thing. Awesome game day experience. We went to the Leagues Club, had a couple beers, walked down the main street, got the full experience. After the game, they didn't win, so I didn't see the winning side, unfortunately. But, you've seen those pictures of them in the streets going crazy with the drums, like you said. It brings that whole community alive. But how many games are they playing there this year?
We only played one this year. I
And
think
that's
it's
it.
under. Last I heard, I think they're renovating some part of the stadium. Like I think it was the hill. I'm not quite sure what part they're renovating. Don't really know what you can renovate in it, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
Um,
So that putting another grandstand, was that the plan?
I don't think so. You
No,
can't.
okay.
There's houses and stuff around it. It's pretty difficult to build around it, to be honest.
But
Um,
well, one game, it's a shame though, right? I mean, I know
oh, definitely.
what's the play like what's the hope? Because obviously it's not the same when you take games to a court, right? Like it's just not the
Yeah,
same. It's hard to take any club games there, really. It's a graveyard when you only get like 15,000 or so, give or take, people. What's the hope there, like long term? Because really, I'm a big believer in suburban grounds, and like you said, you've experienced it all before. There's no other atmosphere quite like it. The AFL doesn't have anything like it. A lot of other sports don't really have it. Maybe the A League a little bit, but having that suburban ground like that, but only playing there once in the whole season, like that's a real shame.
yeah. It's I understand as a business why we only get a few. Because last I heard, I think the club um put the money up for it. Like
It
it's
doesn't
not
make any
fun.
money.
It doesn't make any money, no. But then you also just got to weigh up business over like profit over community or something. But that's high above my pay grade. It's not my decision to make.
Yeah.
But it is a shame. Like I've been to games at a core, at Allianz, and at all these massive stadiums. You don't get a feeling like you do when you walk to Belmore. I live around the area, so I walk to the game. Like I literally leave my house and go to the game. Like we park close by and we walk. Um, and seeing 15,000 Bulldogs fans, and then there'll be a few in the middle that aren't, but that's okay. But
I was one of
seeing us
them.
all walk together as one to this ground, which is ours, it's in our area, it's our home ground. It's so beautiful to see. Like you see the Tigers fans and all they get behind Leichhardt, eighth wonder, ninth wonder of the world, whatever it is. Um,
One of them.
one of them. It's great, and that should be their home ground as well. Like it's suburban grounds is such a selling point for rugby league. It baffles my mind that they keep taking games away from there because
Especially a
that's your
core.
selling point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A core
like
has just got zero spirit. It's got nothing. Like the
it's
only time
dead.
that should be filled is Origin and finals time. Like
Yeah,
regular season games, they look shit. They look shit. Unless
it,
it's a Good Friday game or something like that, that's a different. But regular season
yeah.
games are shit.
Like I've always been a firm believer if it's not a final or an Origin or a massive like rivalry game where you know you're going to get 50 to 60,000, don't put it there.
Mm,
It's not worth it. It
100%.
looks bad. Um, 40,000 empty seats look horrendous on TV.
Terrible.
Um, but then like the hope and the plan is that we get all our games there, like, or at least more than two. Like
$100.
there is no better feeling than walking into to Belmore. I've been there on the flip side when we've lost, and I've been there when we've won. When we win, my God, it is fun.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it is.
I would not want to be in my Broncos jersey that day.
No, I went with the last game I went to. I went with someone that was wearing the opposition, like a Titans jersey.
Are they alive?
Yeah, they're fine. We're not that violent. We're not violent.
No.
Um, but in the spirit of footy, like they were heckling
A
him, and
few
they were,
earfuls.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was funny. It was good to watch.
Funny for you.
Oh yeah, I was one of the people doing it. Like
Yeah, nice
it's
friend you are.
part of it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. No, it's part of it. You're right.
yeah, it's part of it. And then you go out on the street and there's kids um blasting music, doing what they do. Like it's so much fun. Belmore's it is the heartland of the Bulldogs. It's the heartbeat of the club. So I really really do wish that we could do more there. It's ultimately up to the club if they want to, but like
Yeah,
I remember when we won the comp, like that area for a week was pumping.
yeah.
It was so fun.
Party time in Belmore. Look,
Yes.
and it is a shame because, like, yeah, like you said, like I don't think the club makes any money. They've got to fork out a lot. I've seen them in the week leading up to those games. They've got to bring in all these trucks, all the equipment, the
Yeah.
temporary grandstands, all that type of thing. I feel like it's such a big hassle compared to just being able to go to a core.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what the solution is there. If the NRL can do something for them to subsidize, it's a hard one. It's a really hard one. But you'd love to see more footy there, and I hope that that does happen in the
Definitely.
future. Look, as far as the season now, we've got through where we're at. looking into the future, obviously you are top of the table for now, but impressive start. You can't really see it falling away. It's not like you've got one player riding you to this success or anything like that. We're talking about the whole team mentality. My question is then, is this the premiership window? Is it open now? Are you a real contender for this season?
I think so. Um, yeah, we've definitely got the foundation there um to be great. There's the it's the right coach, it's the right players. Our backroom staff seems to be doing pretty well as well. So they always say that a club that is built at every level very well is going to succeed. All that's missing is that trophy. So yeah, I think the premiership window is well and truly open. I mean, the last time when we won the comp, we had a premiership window. It was from like '02 to I'd probably say like '06 or '08. We got one comp there, so um, and maybe yeah, I'd give it a good 4 years hopefully for a
Yeah,
premiership. But
it's open
if
now.
they want to do it now, that'd be fine. Like I'm not going to sit here and complain.
Yeah.
I was 7 or 6 the last time we won a comp. Like it's been a long, long time. It's yeah, it's fun. It's so footy is. It's obviously funner when your team's going well. Um, but yeah, it's if we yeah, please just one. Doesn't have to be five. I'm not greedy. I don't need four like Penrith. It'd be
Yeah.
great. I don't need four.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
one, maybe two, and I'll be set.
No, I agree with you. And I mean, I
I'd
know
like
it's
to say I've seen another comp before I'm 30. Like,
well, I do agree with you. And the old cliche too is defense wins comps, right? And right now,
yes.
simply the best defensive team in the NRL. There's no reason why that's not continue. Not to mention, it's not like your attack isn't firing either. Like you've got some
Yeah.
strike weapons when you've got Carraz in there firing, Tracy leading from the back as well. Like you've got points in you. So I agree with you a little bit there too. I think you could be up there. Whether you can take that next level maybe against your Melbournes and your Penrith, if Penrith bounce back.
I don't think we've been tested
Yeah, that's the
this year
thing.
yet.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think
I
we'll
think
find it a lot
until,
more.
yeah, until we face a Penrith or a Melbourne or even a Roosters, I'd probably have a better judgment.
Yeah.
But what I've seen so far has been good. And I panicked when we lost Birdo and kick out. I was at the game. I was like, oh my God, our season's over. We're not going to win. And then they proved me wrong the next week. So yeah, well, if we fire against those bigger guns, I don't see any reason for us to succeed this year.
100%. I think just having those guys injured at the moment and showing you can do it without them, shut out the
Mm,
night, shut down a guy like Ponga, and you still don't have two of your biggest stars. Very
yeah,
impressive. And look, before I let you go, we mentioned it earlier, but obviously we are both big UFC fans, and it is fight week. Alexander Volkanovski trying to reclaim that featherweight belt against Diego Lopez. What do you reckon, Kamilia? Obviously, coming off a couple of really bad losses, Taporia knockouts, fresh in everyone's minds. He's obviously finally taken the time now to recuperate, but can our boy do it one more time? Is he too old? Does he still have the hunger? Can he beat the young buck and reclaim the title? What's your thoughts?
if it was anyone else but Volk, I'd probably tell you no. But I, he's just so good. I think I honestly think if he had waited, like in between the Makhachev and the Ilya loss, if he had waited between the two, I think it would have been a very different result.
It's that sliding doors moment. Like we'll never know, but
Yeah,
we all
we'll
wish
never
that he
know.
sort of did. Yeah.
Like I remember after the second Islam Makhachev loss, I was sitting back and going, "You need to stop. Like you need to take some time, go away, recuperate, and come back." And then it was announced he was fighting Ilya, and I'm like, "All right, I guess we're not waiting." Um, and then what happened. Yeah, I hope for his sake that he is ready and he has all the tools needed and he's in the right headspace to win because I really think this is a career making moment for him. Not that he hasn't got an impressive resume to say that he isn't a future Hall of Famer, but
One of the
for
goats.
now, I really think if it's another loss, well, what now? Were you going to fight Max Holloway again? Like it's,
No one wants to see four. I mean,
I
it
don't
could
want
be
to
a
see
nice, it
four
could be a farewell fight, but you don't do four when you've already won three.
when you've won three. If it was
Yeah,
2-1, all
different
right, you could
story.
argue it, but he schooled him in 3 fights. So
Yeah.
I really think this is a career defining moment for
Uh,
him. So I hope
100,
for his sake he wins, but we'll never know. We'll
100%.
find out, I guess.
No, I know, and I think he's the slight favorite at the moment. But my real fear is that this could be close to the farewell. I know he said in previous interviews like two, three more fights, but he's
He's
always talking.
34, 35.
Yeah, I think he's 35. So
Yeah.
it's always like the way he talks. I know he's got to be positive, and he is positive. He believes in himself, but you'd have to think if he takes another big L this weekend, then. Yeah, what's he got left? I mean, I don't think he'd retire on the spot. I don't think he's that type of guy, but you'd have to
Yeah.
think what fight can you even make? Is it some sort of like exhibition-y? Like we just talked about Holloway, but what type of fight could you even do after that?
Mm,
Because he only wants to fight for the title. He's not the type of guy who wants to
yeah.
just take these money fights. Like he wants to be the champion. That's the thing that drives him. If he doesn't have that carrot dangling in front of him, I don't know what he has.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like I don't think he'd do the easy route and just fight on fight nights and stuff like that. I think he'll
Which
either
not we don't
call
want to
it.
see that. It would be
I
yeah.
like he doesn't need to be on a fight night. He's Australia's greatest champion.
Greatest
Until
ever,
someone,
I think, combat sports champion,
oh
boxing,
yeah,
MMA. Yeah,
the greatest. He's one of Australia's greatest athletes.
100%. Yeah.
I remember being at work when he fought Brian Ortega, and I was speechless.
Classic.
I was packaging it, and I was sitting there going, "What am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where to start, where to finish."
What a great fight.
Like the legend he is getting out of two submissions that should have ended him.
Man, he got dragged
Um,
down to hell and he came
oh
right
my
back. It was
God,
awesome.
he pulled a dead man. He's like, "No, I'm not dying today. I'm coming back."
All heart.
Yeah. So for his sake and for Aussie fight fans, I really hope he gets a win. Not just a win. I think he needs a statement win.
Yep.
Um, but who knows? Lopez is pretty dangerous as well. So yeah, it's a fun few months coming up for Aussie fans. We got Jack in action as well. So yeah, we could have two champions in by the end of May, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. He's the next pay-per-view as well. 314 obviously this weekend and then 315. But geez, we could also have two big Aussie losses in title fights. But
No, don't say that.
let's not even think about that yet just yet. But look, Kamilia, thank you very much for joining me with all that. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Obviously, you can really tell probably the most passionate I've had on so far. So that fits the description with fans. Very passionate about your Bulldogs. You do a great job there at Fox Sports News and all the work. And you've done a bunch of really nice feature pieces as well. Some of the Bulldogs. So maybe I can even get. Do you have some of that online or something like that? Remember
Uh,
that Belmore feature? Didn't you do a
oh,
feature on Belmore?
I did a Belmore feature last year.
Can you
Yeah,
find that anywhere? Can people find that anywhere?
I don't know. I think the link has probably expired on Fox Sports. Oh,
Yeah,
it's on
because
my Instagram, actually. It
okay,
is on my
well maybe
Instagram.
I'll grab that off you and put it in the show notes because there's an absolutely
Yeah.
amazing story you did there on Belmore. Put a lot of time and effort and heart into it, and it's very obvious about how passionate you are. So thank you very much for joining us on Season Ticket Holders.
Thank you, Dane.
No worries. And Queensland 3-0.
Oh God. Don't argue
Wait,
with me at the end of the show.
before you go, this is not going to be for the audio listeners, but can I turn around? Is that going to be too hard? Can you see that?
I don't know what it says.
Oh, it says we just get it. I had to wear my Queensland
Oh
shirt for
yes,
you,
yes.
Camelia.
You just get it. Yeah,
I wore this
yeah.
shirt to Belmore, so I thought of you. So Queenslander.
Wait till Origin comes around, and then I won't talk to you. I just give you crap for like 6 weeks.
Can't wait. Yeah, they all hate me in the office for those 6 weeks. So
Well,
it's like
don't
Christmas time
wear
for
the
me, but
jersey.
it's like I'm the Grinch.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Origin's a different beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, well, Madge is at the Broncos now, so it's all over. All right,
Yeah,
Camelia, thanks.
funny. You need a New South Wales coach to win
Oh,
games. Yeah,
doesn't matter. He's out now,
yeah.
and you can have Daly again.
No,
Camelia, we'll see how it goes.
see how
Look,
we go.
yes. Thank you very much for joining us on Season Ticket Holders, and thank you very much for everyone for listening again, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
One, two.